The ability of a company to charge their business model and the benefit from the current situation can be its main advantage. This implies the introduction of new products or adaptation to the needs of customers in this situation. The history of mankind knows many cases of fierce competition. Take, for example, in 1963, Henry Ford tried to buy Ferrari, and the story ignited an almost decade-long war with Enzo Ferrari, the strong-willed man who owned the Italian automaker. So how did the story of these two grandes of the automobile business begin? Ford, the company that made cars for everyday life. Since 1962, Ford began to lose its relevance in the market. The reason for this situation was, on the one hand, the change of generation, who wants to faster and more daring cars. On the other hand, the popularity of racing in the country. Because of this, the company Ford awaited economic collapse. The solution was only one: to start producing race cars. As a result, for lack of experience in this area, the company decided to buy a company called Ferrari, which had already managed the particulate in many of the grand races of the country. It would seem that it was it. Problem solved. But the head of the company, Enzo Ferrari, didn't recognize Ford and sold all these shares to Fiat. And from that moment, Ford began to change their business model to keep the company in the market. The main goal was to create a race car faster than Ferrari and to win the most important race of this time, Le Mans 24. The company began to look for managers and specialists to implement all their inventions. One of them was Carroll Shelby. At the time, one of few American races to ever win Le Mans race. Shelby was personally responsible for his success or failure. Shelby and his trusted friend, experienced racer and engineer Ken Miles began assembling a new GT40 race car. And they didn't start it from scratch. With collaboration with Ford's Advanced Vehicle Development Team and the Experimental Engine Development Group.
First, Shelby and Miles proved the car's handling instability by improving its aerodynamics through airflow testing. They glued wool yarn or lean to the outside of the car to see how air moved over and around the surface of the car. The lighter the car cuts through the air, the less energy it requires to move, which in turn leads to less fuel consumption. If the yarn lay flat, then everything was fine. If not, it indicated deficiencies in the car's design that adversely affected downforce and stability. The data collected allowed Miles and Shelby to modify the body and the species, making the GT40 more stable and maneuverable on the track. As a result, Ford has created a car that is as much as 20% faster than its direct rival, and that's a significant difference and their main advantage. On race day, Ford provided 3 GT40s. In the process, they all overtook all of their competitors and finished all together. Thus, they went down in history as the fastest in the world. After the competition, the company's business went from strength to strength. Demand for the cars increased several dozen times, and the very same GT40 was sold to collectors for huge sums of money. Thus, you can see how important is the rapid adaptation of the business model, as the Ford company did.